Another day with another dollar. Hello, beautiful folks and the internet, wherever you are. Welcome back. We are back to this kind of the entanglement. It's one-on-one live coverage with It's underscore Gintu. Mimi ndiye naitwa Gintu. Thank you very much for you being tuned. And I'm going to be teaching you a bit of the Kiswahili. Say thank you very much. Asante sana. Exactly. So as we're going to be starting this kind of the video, I've gotten so much of the threatenment and so much accusations that are going to be dilevelized and also directed to Gintu at this kind of the real civilization we are. And I'm still not understanding what really people are going to be thinking about an African. An African is an African. Whenever you see like we're going to be having another day with another dollar, some people think about they have reached at the brim point and they can do whatever they think about they're going to be doing. And I've seen so many people starting talking about, oh, Gintu, it could be this way, it could be that way, which is not the correct value for a person to come out and start pinpointing and pointing some of the fingers where it's relevant and at this kind of the time, because we are out of the neo-colonialism that had been prevailing, and people have to talk the way it is, and we have to say as a fact what is ever to come out at which kind of the moment and how we're going to be saying it. Yesterday I saw one of the gentlemen from the same village. We are from the same village, and also we have welcomed them to this kind of the village to do whatever they think about they're going to be doing, but they have so much of disrespect and they think about they're going to be owning everything, whereby we are not interested about investing in lands in Nyamwini, and I withdrew my services from becoming an investor in Nyamwini, because as far as everything is there, when you talk about people think about, oh, you're gonna be maybe this way, maybe the people want to see you like posting like, oh, you have this kind of the money, you splash them out, or you could be having this kind of an idea. They know it even before you could even post it, or you could know like, okay, this person has this kind of an idea. Whenever it will not be occurring, they talk about, oh, how that kind of an idea went, and whenever it occurs, they talk about, yeah, that idea is very nice and whatever. You are showing everything to the ecosystem. Everybody knows like you're gonna be doing this at this kind of the rate. I don't want to be discussed about, oh, this is the next thing, because even to be hijacked, it's very easy, like you have already said about it. And to the real way of understanding things, I saw one of the lives that were coming out from Mura Senso, is the Mr. Kenge, came out and started talking about, oh, I'm going to be arresting Gintu, I want to make sure I'm going to be arresting them with another police station. Let me say as a fact, because people have never, you know, you can see a person who went to school and they're going to be doing a lot of money and engaging in an economy, or becoming a subsidy to the ecosystem. Talk about you're going to be supplementing these, whatever even the government has never brought. Yes, we understand this is the government, and not everything you should get it from the closer hand that you are. But don't start talking nonsense where you cannot even approve like you have done it or you could do it at which kind of the rate. Point number one. They're talking about, oh, Gintu is still talking about Kenge and much more such kind of the things like that one. What I can say is, let him not lie and tell his kind of the watchdogs. Let him tell them the real fact. What made such kind of the case to be terminated from the court? He is talking about Gintu went there and bowed down. I'm speaking it one-on-one. Let him take it to the court or take it to the police station if he thinks about he's a man enough. Because he's just a very simple, very young boy to do whatever is not even compensated. I know so many people are going to be hating whenever I'm talking about he's just a very young boy. You can talk about, oh, you're going to be having money, but stupid brain. He cannot think, he cannot sense, he cannot analyze. Something that they're going to be speaking here is one thing. He's talking about how Gintu went and kneeled down. Why couldn't he film? And they know how to film it much. Like Gintu came down and kneeled down and started. Why couldn't he record that kind of the recording that I was just there to prove myself and start talking about, oh, you know, I'm begging or do this one. I cannot do that one to a man. And I will say as a fact, when things now went down, and I told them when I met with him to the police station, they came and talked about, oh, you're gonna be checking who I am, using people's money. Look at how the stupid Kenge might be and how stupid he is. He's using other people's money and even intervening to talk about, can you send me another extra money so I can judge Gintu and talk about, we're gonna be arresting Gintu again. Don't come out to tell us, oh, because you are having it's called the horse pens or whatever it will be, like you are making an area to be the whitish spots you are checking from there. Somebody going to be coming out and tell us, oh, you know, I'm making difference in this kind of thing, using the trees that will be eaten with the safari ants and be eaten with ants, and they will not survive for 6 long months. You are coming here to tell us you are a millionaire, where you could just use some of the better things that could be made possible, and you're coming to tell us, oh, you're going to be this, you're going to be this. I'll pinpoint it the way it is, and I'm not here to be intimidated with a very occasional person who doesn't know who is the father and who is the mother, and a person who doesn't even acknowledge, like he's resting, everything is resting onto the pocket, everything is resting onto his kind of the trouser, and he's wearing some of the stupid baggy clothing which are not even reasonable to this kind of an esquire. If you are, and I said it as a fact, and that's a fact here, he is a molester, you understand it. That's why you can see he cannot even travel to each kind of the country. He cannot go anywhere. And that's the fact. And it's not a surprise when it comes to a real thing, whereby he was claiming, oh, you know, I'm going to be taking into to the court of Mombasa, so he could be taking his kind of the transport from here to Mombasa. Very stupid thing. And he cannot even sense like he's talking nonsense. Do you understand? Even a police officer from another area to come and intervene to your area, they have to pass through the police officers or the police station or the king post or the king station of the police post and talk about they're going to be taking somebody from this kind of an area and they're going to be this way. It's only the DCIs and the CID. They have that kind of, or talk about the presidential escort or talk about the wreck squad in Kenya. But not this kind of the Burugwai police stations will take about, oh, you're going to be getting their money and talk about you're going to be coming to capture Gintu. And how are you going to be filing it? And where did the occasion happen? And what happened to you? If you have lost to the court, you have lost. Don't come and start thinking about if you ate the money that the people told you go and sue Gintu. Can you come out and elaborate it to them? Like, oh, you know, the money that you sent me so I can sue Gintu, but it never went well. The police officers went and ate that money and there's nothing that happened. People will understand you very better than coming out to tell people, oh, you know, I'm going to be now taking them to Mombasa and I will file their case. And who told you it will cast like that? And who told you we are intimidated of talking about going to be taking much of the things to which kind of the police station, which is a very stupid and very awkward strategy you're going to be talking about, you're going to be doing, and which is not the meticulous objective that you're going to be doing here. And this I want to be speaking it as a fact. Let us not be intimidated because of a gentleman who is thinking about going to be owning everything, using some of subscribers' money. He has been built the house with subscribers and think about, oh, going to be rescuing everything, going to be doing whatever is not necessary. At this kind of the time, we are not up to that one. And nobody, I will never ever in my history beg a person and talking about, oh, I'm going to be kneeling down. I'm not a puppet. I'm not a US puppet. I'm not a whatever puppet it will be. Like I have to do it for it to come out. Let it not come. And that is the fact. And I'm not a person to start selling some of the nudes because of some infrastructure and much more. And you are selling to the pond and whatever and talk about, oh, you know, this kind of the people. You'll ever come to wonder, like this kind of the gentlemen they talk about, they're going to be having a team. They are selling so much things, including the nudes. Who doesn't know about it? And you understand, like you see a person is talking about, oh, you're going to be this, you're going to be this, until this kind of the time. There are so many ladies and the gentlemen here, they are sending the news. It's only like I say about, it's part of their time to make it because they want to make money. And an African is an African because whatever comes, like this is the best for this kind of the platform to come. That's what they tangle and they want to do. And I said to Kenge one day, I told him, I'm not a man of fearing because you are investor, I am an investor. We are in YouTube, or what of us we are in YouTube. And I said it. We are both dwarfs. Let nobody come out and talk about a Matola dwarf. Including, I'm not interested about you're going to be having your own team that you're going to be whatever, but I'm not a person to come and start licking your buttocks and think about, oh, you're going to be now whatever. We're going to survive. And they're still wondering about how are these kind of the people surviving this kind of the industry. Because the industry doesn't develop like you are the only owner of this kind of the industry. This platform has everybody to do it. But it's stuck to your point, like don't come and intimidate us and think about, and I know you're going to be listening to this kind of the video. I'm not a person to be intimidated. If he's the man enough Let him file a case wherever he thinks about. Let him file. Because he was told from the court direct, there is nothing, you have no case here. Bringing it river class 6. Bringing, I don't know, whoever, that these are the witnesses. Look at how stupid these people are being used. And into this kind of the capilog, use it like this. You are using this kind of the Neanderthal people who are just illiterate to the ecosystem. They cannot think, they cannot sense, and they are there to lick the buttocks of other people and talk about, oh, I am going to be the witness. And whatever they have written, and whenever talk about, can you elaborate what you have written to that kind of the statement, they cannot even elaborate anything. And you start wondering about, is this kind of the person really meticulous or sure about whatever he's doing? And he understands enough. I'm not a person to intimidate. If the money, you are going to be talking about money, Mura is a very small person whenever it comes to that one. I saw him talking about, oh, I'm going to be investing in terms of, if it could be buying the horses, even me, I could have bought the horses. It's not like you are the only person who can buy them. I bought a land in assurance here that can combine the whole of his own kind of the plots, and it will take over them. And this is the time. I'm not a person to invest in cars and talk about, oh, you know what is making things to be so better? Let me give you a little story here. When we went to, they reported the matter to the police officers. Yes, they arrested me, because to be arrested is anyone can be arrested. And to be assured, I'm not a person to feel like I'm gonna be running out of my home because of something which is not even crazy. Because they have been pumping and pumping. I saw this kind of the lady called Dimwang also. She came out and talked about she was in Sirari. Oh, you know, Gintu is arrested, is now in prison. And I talk about, are they really sure about whatever they're doing? And look at which kind of the games are they playing? Because I was waiting for Kenge to arrive into this kind of an area. I could speak to him direct and tell him, tell your people direct. What happened to the court? Don't lie to the people. Tell them where you went with the money. How much money did you use and how much money the police ate, and it never helped you anything. And if I want to assure you, direct. You know, some of the people think about, oh, it's just a matter of whatever is going to be there. And I can use, he's the only police. I can use the same police officer whom he used in terms of, let me show you. You understand this kind of the things is just done. I'm looking for one of the officers he ever used, and gave them a lot of money to talk about, oh, go and file that kind of a bigger case, including they placed that kind of the case to be threatening to kill. So how can I go and start murdering this kind of the gentleman who doesn't have even a meat, who doesn't even have ribs? A person who is not even he cannot even see something clearly. Where am I getting this kind of the person to? A person who cannot even have a driving license. A person who cannot even be recognized like this, the thing we're going to be doing. A person who is ever begging daily, even including a laptop charger. A person is claiming, oh, you know, if you're going to be knowing where the good charger is, you can send it to me. A real person talking about a millionaire. Look at how stupid this kind of the people are going to be taking us here. I'm not a relevant person to be stop talking, oh, you know, it could be this way, it could be this way. Nothing. And everybody is hustling in according to how you have been growing up. Look at how they are now talking about, oh, you know, even he doesn't know who is the father. Including, why can't he go and ask the mother, this is my father, who is my father here? And talk about whoever came out such kind of the stupid and do whatever is necessary. And if he doesn't know, why can't he go and look for whatever necessary and start about, oh, you know, whenever things are becoming hard to your side, he has to react about Gintu, about the people and to the village, and start earning, because he wants to activate the earnings. Like, oh, you know, get Gintu. They know there are so many people who hate me from his kind of the team, because they know I'm not intimidated with such kind of a person who cannot see good and clearly. I cannot be intimidated with a person who cannot even think and rethink and auto-think properly, because we are becoming a stupid mongoloid, a person from the village, like, we were ever chasing much of the colonial people from outside of Kenya, and still we are begging to them and kneeling down to them and start talking about, can you send me money to sue Gintu? Look at how such kind of the stupid colonialism is there, and we are being used indirect to the same subject, the negativity to your own village, and talk about, you're a good YouTuber, you're a bigger YouTuber. You are declining, my friend. And you'll never go anywhere, because if this is the prototype you're ever bringing out, look at what happened to the US. You can never go to the US. That's the best thing they ever did. 250,000 fine, and you have never told anybody, like, he was a molester. Can you come out and clearly tell people you are a molester? You did the molestation in the US. You are ever using this kind of the ladies like puppets, like, I'm going to be using you, I'm going to be hitting you, this and then this, water from India. And what happened next? They filed the cases. You think about you're going to be, you're going to be this way? Let me check about it here. You know, guys, the thing that is there is whereby a person thinks about this is a village. You know, you can never know how much Gintu is earning and how much Gintu the business has invested in. You know, so many people think about, we should be there to tell people, this is what I'm doing, this is the village I'm coming from, and this is what I'm gonna be doing. You'll never understand it, man. You just see Gintu the way you see Gintu, the way I am. Because at the end of the moment, nobody knows how I'm investing, nobody knows how I'm doing, and what I'm just planning of tomorrow or today. I can be sitting down at my fish farm here, maybe I'm relaxing, I'm doing my own job. But whenever a person sees, like, Gintu is just at the fish pond there, they talk about, Gintu doesn't have money. That's not the correct way of us to do it. Because when we come clearly and we leave some of the things that are ever there to correspondently do with them the way they're going to be coming. Let us not start intimidating others because you think about you're going to be having money. Let him try. And that's a challenge I'm giving him. And I told him, there's a day I shot a video and I said, let each kind of the watchdogs who think about they're going to be suing Gintu from my own village. They're in America, they're wherever they are, and talk about they're going to be sending money to sue Gintu. Let them try it. I don't fear such kind of a puppet person. I don't fear anyone. If there's a body who think about I fear whatever, even if it's a police, let them come. I don't fear anyone. I cannot be feared from where I am coming from. Like a person to threaten you and think about, because you're going to be doing this. Even if you took the position to go to the police officer or the police and you lured them, including shooting a video and saying about, I had to use some of the money to sue Gintu. You think about now, they're going to be sending you money to sue Gintu. Say it properly. You're going to be doing this and then this. You are bankrupt to this. Right now, you understand the economy, how it is. You are not earning anything from the YouTube. It's only you're depending on to the supporters who are going to be supporting you. And I'm not talking about people should not. People support whoever they think about is more punctual to that kind of the module. What are you there to do? At which kind of the specification you're going to be doing it? But not like, don't support that person. Guys, you know what? You are not a person to tell us. This is not a gainism, a practicism that we are doing here. And this is not a perpetratic way of talking about you're going to be perpetrating and talking about, it's going to be this way, it's going to be this way. Not everybody is a fool. If you have been fooling your own people to your own YouTube channel, not everybody is to be fooled. There are some of the people are listening and they're commenting like you're going to be a stupid person to the village. You could be a person who is ever traveling from one place to another. We ever knew you could be a traveling commander. I ever learned and I ever had such kind of the things people talking about. But I've been waiting for that kind of the travel commandism to come out. I'm not checking it. It's only like you're going to be gossiping and talking about Gintu, talking about you are looking for the views. And that's the fact. But I'm not there to be intimidated with a psychopath, incredible human nature, who doesn't even understand the criteria of looking for a best way to handle matters. Everything is to put it onto the, talk about the camera. You know, you understand? People, what they don't know is that he cannot go where I am and he cannot approach where I am. Ask him. He knows who I am, very meticulous, because I was the one taking care of his food. I know what he likes. I know what he knows how to eat. I know whatever is necessary. He has to remove teeth. 4 teeth. He doesn't have teeth. You understand it? That gentleman doesn't have teeth. Who doesn't know that one? He's having fake teeth. Let him remove the teeth and think about, oh, come out with the way you are, original, and start talking to us. Oh, he could be throwing saliva to you like rubbish. You know, one thing which is making us to feel like people are becoming stupid to this kind of the village is the critical thinking. And if we are not clear and we are not ever stable, like I can do this because of this, I cannot do this because of that. Somebody thinks about you're going to be coming to intimidate you, assault you with a lot of words, and start talking about, oh, you know, this kind of the people, they are bad. I'm not interested with the Kenge. Oh my God. He is investing, I'm investing. What does he need? If we need to talk about going to be getting to the police, he knows. He knows. Right now, you cannot think about you will be the only person who has prevailed under monologue, about you will be the only person using the police officers. Everybody right now is known. If they're in YouTube, they know YouTube has money. They will be eating as like a safari rally. They will be eating from there. They will be eating from the other side, eating from this kind of the side. The only thing he could do is to say the sensible things. Like how we're going to be improving the village. You're talking about suing people to the court. And you think about, oh, Gintu has been becoming a headache to you, maybe. And you're thinking about how we're going to be doing to make sure that Gintu is out of this kind of the village. Or I'm the one stopping this kind of the land grab. Because every kind of the section you go, including right now, he doesn't have a farm that he cannot even take care of this kind of the horses. They are there, grazing from other people's positions. And you understand one thing which make it possible is whereby I ever allowed some of his kind of the workers to come and cut grass from my fish farm here, and he was feeding some of the cows using my grass from this kind of a section here. So it's becoming like, oh, how is it coming? You know, I'm not having that kind of the bad mind and stupid jealousness that people think about, oh, maybe Gintu gonna be having. I've never went to him and asked about, oh, I want to fence this kind of a fish farm here. It's only the way we started it. I talked about this kind of the person who can never help me. I have to look for my own self. And he helped me onto that one because I understood like we have to achieve it on our own to make sure that we are making it. But a person thinks about, oh, because you are known, you are having more than 500 and whatever 1,000 subscribers, you think about you're going to be coming to intimidate Gintu, now people to listen or what? And you're going to be talking about Gintu, people now to hate Gintu because of what I'm doing. I'm not intimidated about that one. What is there is, are you really okay with whatever you are speaking? At which kind of the rate are you talking about it? Because I will stand to my own side, and I have to always come out and argue to make sure that my way is ever right. Because when we come out clearly, and I know, because this Nyambuhansi, you can never develop something which is going to be better. Everybody knows about this Gintu, and this is who. And they know. And they understand very well, this is what we're going to be doing, at which kind of the rate, and how we're going to be helping this. Because the situation which is coming out from one position to another is whereby people don't understand the short-mindism. Like a person can come and start talking about, oh, you know, it could be this way, and they have a team that, oh, we cannot join our teams, and Gintu should not be a part of that kind of the team. Yet we are coming from the same village. Whenever the problem of the village occurs, we are now called to talk about, oh, can we tackle this kind of the problem? It has occurred this way. And it becomes now a very stupid idea. Now the same person who was talking about that one is now talking about, oh, thank you very much for you helping us and this and this and this. Yet you understood like the same team you're thinking about. There's one of the story that I wanted to cover it up. You know, when you want to do something And you think about, oh, you know, it's only the Kenge side, the people from Kenge side, the only people who have money. And whenever you tell them come for my visitation or the visiting, you think about they're going to be having money. My friend, those are now the brokest people in this kind of the village. Because they are just wondering about what is happening in my real world. What's happening to this kind of the ecosystem. I meet with so many of them in Nyabuhanse. They are ever asking for a little bit of something, the credit, whatever is necessary. And they talk about how we are from this kind of the person. They can never sense, they can never talk, they can never understand. They ever have that kind of the conspiracy of talking about this is not the right position we are. And let them wait until they will be fired. That's the time they will ever come out booming. And they will do something which is stable. Look at which kind of the things are happening. I'm not like Nasto. I will never be like Nasto. I will never. I will never be like Priska Sagat. I'll never. Because somebody is there to talk about, oh, I have to come and kneel down and start begging. If you're going to be supporting a person, support the person in their own passion and talk about, yeah, this is their village and you have to, their competition. And he's talking about, oh, you know, I was to talk about one of the story when they were coming to the court. They were ever coming with the Mercedes-Benz. Oh, they were coming with the big cars. Everybody, including Davy Jr. was coming. The Mwango was coming. Rosio was coming. Kenge himself, including all the workers to come and sue Gintu. Including the first day, Nasto was there to come and witness what's going to be happening. And the real fact that comes out clearly is whereby I have to tackle it the way it comes. And this is not a lie. This is not a lie, and this is the fact. When people saw them and I was alone, I don't go with anyone. If you combine the whole family, nobody can ever get to my brain. They are ever small people to the ecosystem. It's only God blessed them, like they'll do something better and they can do it. Because nobody here is talking about, oh, I'm rich. Nobody is rich. Nobody is rich. How are you rich with other people's money? How are you rich? How are you rich? But don't start accusing other people because you know, like, you're going to be having a little money that you have bypassed them. Don't have that kind of the character. One day, one time, there is somebody who will come to pass it. There's somebody who's going to be coming to be the same position you are thinking about you are right now. There's a time it will come, like there's tomorrow. Today I might be down, yes. I allow it, and I know to the Almighty Lord. Today I'm down, but tomorrow I will not be down. Because they want to see, like, oh, you're going to be having arranged. You know, if I could not have invested the money that I was getting and place it where relevant, you know, up to this kind of the time, nobody knows how I'm earning. Nobody knows whatever is necessary. I am not there to pronounce it. Because people like to hear, this is the wealthy of Gintu. This is the wealthy of the other person. This is the wealthy of this. I'm not there to talk about my wealthy, whatever it will be. But I've invested in so many lands. I'm not here to start fighting with Matiko here, talking about, oh, you know, I'm buying at 100,000. I'm not a person of buying at 100,000. That's a very stupid piece of land. And that's a very stupid idea of buying to the same village whereby you understand this kind of the people are liquored. I am not in terms of that. I am investing where I know this is a land that I can invest. Even if things are going to be getting whatever it will be, I'll be in terms of that and making it happen. Let us not start intimidating people. He knows it very well. He was thinking about you're going to be having lawyers. How many lawyers does he have? How many lawyers does he have? He understood, like, Gintu is now the gentleman. Because whenever he saw my first time lawyer, they thought about, oh, they have money to hire the lawyers. Tell them who I was having. Let him tell you, because he understood it. Because his lawyer saw my lawyer and talked about, yes, senior, how are you? There was, even when I was asked about, oh, Gintu, where is your lawyer, with the judge? And they watch me, they know who I am. The judge himself said, Gintu, where is your lawyer? And they had started with their lawyer, talks about the hearing day. And when it reached to the hearing day, and they're talking about Gintu was begging. How am I begging? And until we reach the hearing, How was I begging? Look at how stupid this is. Just this kind of the Kenge taking people in naturally and think about you're going to be dehumanizing other people. And I will say as a fact, when this kind of the judge asked Gintu, where is your lawyer? I said about my lawyer is about to reach. The judge asked me, who is your lawyer? I talked about, I have one of the professional. I told him the name. And they talked about, are you really sure he's the person who is coming? Including their lawyer, or even whenever he had that name, he went and talked about, yes, give us time and the time will come, then we're going to be coming to represent ourselves. When we went outside, if you want that kind of the story, it's there. And it has to be told the direct thing, the forward thing, one-on-one, because let nobody come and cheat others here. And when they went outside, they collected themselves and went outside, including the other boy. I don't know what's the name of that boy, who is the driver. And also Kenge himself, and also Rocio was there. He took them, all of them, including the Virginia. They went outside. And I told them about, oh, this lawyer who is coming is a very powerful person. And I don't know how we're going to be doing this kind of things. When we came back to the court, what happened? And my lawyer now arrived, including the judge himself, stood up from his seat and greeted the person and said about, hey, senior, how are you? They know each other. They know who I am. And whatever happened now from there, he knows what happened. They came out themselves and talked about, oh, please, judge, can you give us time? We reconcile. Themselves, not Gintu. They saw the lawyer who is there, and even the lawyer asked about which kind of the class are you? Which kind of the class are you? Whenever they saw him, they thought about, oh, you know, it could be something regrettable to their lives. I'm not a person to be joked for. They started now talking about going to be prolonging some of the mentions, and they talked about we can never go in such kind of a way. And there's a day I came here and I talked about I cannot talk about I'm going to be getting it that somebody's talking about 200 meters from wherever you are. If it could be like Gintu went and kneeled down to talk about we need this kind of the things to be there. What happened? Including themselves asked for reconciliation. Gintu I was not able to do that one. Can you ask him? I went with my own lawyer and I asked about if they want the hearing, let them come. Because we had already targeted and understood like they're going to be checking the real fantastic module of 100 much of the matters are going to be arriving. And they knew it. Gintu is not a joking matter. They know who I am. Let them try if they think about their man. I'm not here to be intimidated with things about, oh, you are just there to live in some people's homes, and you go to America, you live to other people's home, you go to the UK, live to other people's home, and think about, oh, we don't understand people. You come and lie to the people like, oh, you know, I'm living, I've gone to the UK, I'm spending a lot of money. Spending which kind of the money? You're going to Argentina to live in a cage of a dog, including from the same home. You are living the same home that you are talk about your in-laws are sleeping. Look at how stupid a person might be. That's an African. And still comes out and talk about, oh, you know, it could be this way. But you come and sleep to this kind of, talk about a slaughtering house, which is here, which is ever there to do the molestation of some of the ladies to this kind of the village and start talking about you're going to be doing it. And you are there to live where some of the people ever built that kind of the house, and still you are there to talk about, oh, you know, it could be this way, it could be this way. How many people have been scammed there? How many goats were being slaughtered there? How many goats were being taken to that kind of an area? How many people have been scammed? But some of the people think about, oh, whenever they see Gintu is talking about, I'm going to be investing, talk about, oh, Gintu, or maybe you are scamming this and this. We are not doing it. Because they're bigger birds who they want to eat everything. And they think about other people don't have stomach to eat. They talk about, oh, go and subscribe and do whatever is not necessary. I'm not intimidated about a person to threaten me and talk about you're going to be doing. If they think about they're going to be doing, stop talking. Can you act upon it? Can you do it at the same interval? Like, if you want to sue Gintu, you could have gone to Mombasa already. So you are threatening who? You are sending the letter to who? You are communicating to who now? We are not intimidated with letters. We are not intimidated with how you're going to be talking about. We are to be focused about, you're going to be going to Mombasa, sue your case there, let us get the report. Let us be captured, get to Mombasa. If you think about you are a man, a person who is ever going to create some of the drama. Right now, Rocio is not available. Is ever to create drama from Nairobi? Oh, we are being stolen and they're creating drama. You think about we don't understand. Which kind of a person who doesn't understand, like this kind of a person is a scammer also? And this is a fact. If you go back and start asking about how many people how many people lost their own stuffs there, including promised to have much of the shout-outs and much of other things from there. They sent their own things that they could be having during that kind of the time, including so many people started begging to, do you understand, like, which time ever got people started talking about Nyambohansi is coming is whereby it's from that kind of the party that happened to that kind of gentleman. He was ever sending somebody to look for the party staffs or items or equipment, and people started now begging to their sponsors, talking about, oh, you know, I've been knowing you, I've been checking you to this kind of the channel, please, can you take me and do whatever is necessary, this and this, and at the long last, they talk about, oh, you know, I'm sent to do this, including how many boys have been doing that. And is that not a scam? Like right now, where are they? They've been talked about, they never approached this kind of an area. And what kind of the thing gonna be doing to that kind of the ecosystem? We are becoming stupid. We are not analyzing and we're not understanding as an African. Like, how many times do you want an African, me specifically, to come and tell you, like, we are having a short mind. We are never even understanding it. Like, oh, you know, whenever I talk about Gintu, whenever I talk about this one, you think about, you have your own team. When you talk about your team, you talk about it. And there's no one who will come from your team and talk about, I'm going to be supporting Gintu at this kind of time because you're talking about the nonsense, man. Some of the people talk about, let me go to the other side. Because how the things is coming, we are thinking about the bigger people, they think about going to be squandalizing us and fundamenting our own educational system and think about we never learned. We have a right and freedom. This is Kenya. And if it could not be in Kenya, let it talk about if it could be in Uganda. Yes, we could have talked about this not a secured country we are, and it could be a problem whenever we're going to be coming out exclaiming and talking about this, the reality about it. But this is not in Uganda, this is Kenya. And I said it, without fighting with young YouTubers in this kind of the village, and we are becoming stupid, talking about this one, a whole YouTuber who is a millionaire and is coming to talk about the court cases and talking about going to be suing you from the same village. The person who ever never knew like you could have such kind of the things, now is coming to talk about, oh, you know, whatever you're doing, and yet is just still talking about us. Oh, my living God. Is ever coming out to talk about us and is talking about, oh, you know, it could be this way, and he's talking about us meticulously. And he knows that he has to earn from this kind of the name we're going to be talking about Gintu. He has to earn about it. This is Kenyanism. This is a village that has something called Kenyanism. And we are not going to be intimidated with such kind of the impact and the reactionate that is going to be brought with such kind of the things. But we have to stand still and argue because we are having the brain. If you are a man enough, can't you come out and face Gintu one-on-one? Talk to me if you are a man. You know, some of the people think about money is everything. You have money, we have money. And don't think about you are the only person who is entitled to have money. No, money is a liquid thing. It's a currency. You can have it today and lack it tomorrow. So don't start intimidating us because of money. That you understand really, this kind of the money you're talking about, it's of today only. And what about tomorrow? Somebody has worked for 9 years, talking about in the platform of YouTube for 9 years, and still is coming outside here to tell people like, oh, you know, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing this. Nobody is interested. Whether you have ranches, whether you have horses, we are not interested about what you're going to be investing. Everybody has a mentality. We did business studies. We did something called grammar. We did something called literature. Something that you can learn and get literature. That is what matters right now, because literature is now the key value for this kind of the moment we are talking about. If you did the literature, you read much of the storybooks and much more, you understand really about this is the life, it heads here, or this is the life, it heads there. A problem whenever it comes to a real person who understands the reality to this kind of the village, knows the problem that is encountered to this kind of the village, is still post-quamarizing, is still imbroglizing some of the stupid ideologies that cannot be. It's because of some few people are there to lick his buttocks, is ever thinking about his own everything in this kind of the village. We are not interested. They are the people who cannot lick your buttocks, whether you do it or not, whether you like it or not. They are ever thinking about they have everything to this kind of the world. You can see the sister is now coming back home because he cannot do anything. He's coming from Poland. She's even talking about what am I going to do because people have not understood what's going to be coming out. It was a fake marriage. Who doesn't know? And I said it. How is this kind of the house going to be staying here? Talk about she started constructing a house here. How is it going to be staying here? For how? Who told? Who says so? And how is it going to be staying at this kind of the area? And who's going to be living here? Let us not be stupid and people think about it. That's the drama. We understand they have to play the drama, but don't play drama with us and think about you're going to be telling people now to send money to sue us and you want to eat the money. And there's nothing you can do as far as everything is in concern. If a person is a man enough, can you go to the police and tell them to come and capture Gintu if you're a man enough? Don't come outside here and start talking about, oh, it's going to be this one. This is not like the end. This is not the era of Gintu. Let them try it. I'm not here, I'm not bragging, but I'll tell them as a fact. This is not the right time for them to do whatever they think about. This is a new developed Gintu. Very meticulous, well enabled. And things gonna be flowing. Keep tuned. Back to you in a short while. Guys are back from the G Castle and everything is just getting on good as we're going to be progressing and making things to happen from outside here and also inside of the G Castle. And I was talking about, you understand what is ever coming out from much of the people. They ever want to understand like, is this kind of the things that we're going to be doing, is it making sense or not making some of the sense? You know, some of the people might be checking you, maybe you're going to be loitering around, but they don't know the possession that you're ever carrying. Like some of the people, they want to see you actually. Like, oh, you have to say about what we're going to be having, A, B, C, D, and there. But everything has to go on. Some of the things are ever silent. And coming from the G Castle here today, we're going to be having a new thing ever coming out because ever we have to, I said we're going to be embarking to the G Castle again to make sure that we're going to be making things to happen very meticulous. So we are onto the tiling process. Also we have the boxes are available here. Talk about the tiling, talk about the tiles are ever available. This is the color I've just selected here. Very meticulous. For the boys, so the people talk about, oh, Gintu, how we're going to be, this is for the my boys here, and you have to make sure that things are going to be coming out. I have to look for something that's going to be so meticulous to me, and it has to be so awesome to this kind of the area here. So the top mason is ever available. Abu, how is you? What's up, man? Fine, fine. Is ever making it happen? Things are just popping out. So how many days in this kind of the room, man? 3 days. Yeah. You will be completed, eh? Yeah. Exactly. You can see how now they're going to be coming out so meticulous. And also going to be now having the, after this kind of the tiling, we're going to be going back for the windows. And also, if I see things going to be cooking out, I'm going to be staying here as I'm going to be renovating it most. Everything going to be coming out so meticulous here. So it's a process that we're ever making and things are popping out here. So some of the stuff here tomorrow, they'll move to another section to make sure we're going to be paving way for other things to happen to this kind of the room. The cement are available and things are going to be cooking out. So I think I'm going to be adding some of the cement because the room is so big and huge for the tiling. Talk about it's a very huge room. Also outside here, it's going to be tiled and also going to be making sure that this kind of the section here also going to be having the stairs that's going to be getting in. Also to this kind of the week, I'm going to be starting this kind of the fish pond here, and it's going to be now started to be constructed very immediate to make sure that the things going to be cooking out. We are expecting still the child. Still we are into the process and we're going to be making sure that things are going to be cooking out whenever things are ever getting on and on here, and that is the best way for us to go and make it happen here. Oh, amekuja hapa ametoroka, nitie basi bubu wako wapi? There's one of the gentlemen who is ever working here. He doesn't understand how the things are going to be coming, and I don't know if he's changing. Yeah, I think he's changing. I like to give out the work. I always balance. You see, there's a lady and also there's a gentleman who are ever working for me here. And yeah, that's a communication that we are ever doing. And this is the way we're going to be getting forward. So we ever communicate. And I like one thing that I like about this kind of the boys talk about like such kind of a man. He cannot talk and he doesn't hear. And the good thing about him, he cannot storytell. And he can only understand if you do some of the science or whatever you want to do. And I like about him because he doesn't have that kind of the storytelling. It's not like other people, like they're going to be coming whenever you're going to be storytelling, you're going to be joining the team to storytell. No, he doesn't like it. So today's work, he was now making sure that this kind of an area is very clean. So you can see he was now placing there the firewood, and because I want to make sure that everything now going to be operating here meticulous, because we are now back to make sure that the G Castle is onto the finish line. And now we are just because down here we have a septic tank down here, so we had to clear this kind of an area and place everything where relevant. This is the firewood squad area, and also we have some of the timbers to that kind of the small stuff that is just hit there with timbers, and also to the top we have the timber box. And this kind of an area, this tree I want to start cutting it small because right now you can see it's a very good tree here, but whenever it gets to a dry season a bit, it's gonna now be falling leaves gonna be falling down like something else. I'll go to the top of the G Castle, you understand what I mean, because it's so dirtifying this kind of an area, and it's also dirtifying the roof of this kind of the house. So we're going to be breaking it down to make sure we're going to be planting some of the trees here that are going to be having a shade. And I know my father liked, because he was ever sitting here, but it's messing. Also, he was the one who told me, oh, begin to cut some of the branches that could be just protruding from here. And also my Wi-Fi is passing through this kind of the tree. So I have to make sure I'm going to be transferring it from here up to this kind of the G Castle before it's going to be progressing to the other houses here, because I have to come to this kind of the house immediately with an immediate effect, and I have to make sure that things going to be cooking out immediately here. So if I go to the top of the G Castle, so I can just see which kind of the harm this kind of the tree is bringing, and it's a terrible harm, by the way. And this is why I was drawing some of my maize and much more. You have to understand how it's going to be coming. So this is the Wi-Fi here. So this kind of the tree has this kind of the tendency. You can see some of the leaves, they are ever dirtifying this kind of an area. Look at that kind of talk about at the ridge there a bit. We have so much of the leaves, and you can see also this kind of the gutter here a bit. They're going to be blocking water, so I have to make sure that this tree is too tall for this kind of the house. Yes, it has a good view, and but the view is not, you can know. Also, when I was in school, I was being told like, oh, maybe a teacher finds you are going to the toilet. Yes, you are doing something correct, but at the wrong time. So this tree is a very good tree, but it's doing some things which are not correspondent with how the nature wants. Because yes, the nature is good, and having such kind of a shade during the evening section, or I can trim it. I leave it to the other side, and I make sure that this side, the whole of this kind of the side is cut down to make sure that this kind of the branches and the leaves that are coming here a bit, they cannot harm this kind of the house here. Because also this tree, it has the tendency, you can see how the roots are coming out. It has that kind of the tendency of getting the roots to different positions, and it will be just be breaking much of the house, and we don't want to reach to that kind of the section. And that's what we're going to be doing to this kind of the platform here. So everything is moving on. Also, guys, some of the people ever talking about, oh, guys, I said I cannot invest in Nyamwini. Why am I saying so? Because some of the people ever think about, oh, you have to show whatever you're going to be doing. You see, whenever you're going to be buying a land, some of the people have a hate. Some of them talk about, oh, you could have told me. You see what happened between Mayuguno, between the other people, a bit a scary thing. And they don't want to reach to that kind of the concession there. So this land here also, it's going to be under my territory, because also I have tied here my cows here, and this is going to be my territory, and this is what's going to be coming out one-on-one here. So this is the third land, and we have to understand how it's going to be coming. Let nobody come and intimidate because of talking about, oh, some of the people think about, if you don't have views in the YouTube, you have nothing. Some of the people think about, oh, maybe you're going to not have some of the views, you have nothing. We have we have invested to make sure that things going to be coming out, and we have to make sure that things are ever cooking out. Don't judge a book by its cover, because we have seen, oh, maybe this time around there's not much of the views, whatever. You want to intimidate others because because of understanding like you're gonna be a failure of not having some of extra money, or we're gonna be having not investing. We are not there to talk about, oh, you know, we have to do this, we have to do that one. A bit scary. And also this kind of the land here gonna be getting this kind of the house a view. That's why you see I'm ever getting myself to involve in this kind of the land here to make sure that things gonna be cooking out here. I have a bull, very good bull here, and it's gonna be coming out crazy. Way meticulous. Exactly. So this is a bull that I'm just growing here, and you're gonna be having a good body shape, and you're gonna be so meticulous just across. So this is how the view of this kind of the house gonna be from this kind of the far point. So that's why this kind of an area also is picked to make sure that things are gonna be cooking. It's only measurement, and things are gonna be coming out so meticulous here. So that's why I say it's now the view of this kind of the house, how it's gonna be developing, how it's gonna be, and you can see the dogs around to the watchtower to make sure they're gonna be surviving, to make sure that everything is running so okay here. So the puppies here, you can see how the puppies are running so meticulous. The puppy dog, so awesome here. So guys, that's the way forward, and I'm ever saying things gonna be coping up, and that is my legacy. So tomorrow, after finishing the tiling from the G castle inside there, we're gonna be coming with the ballast. The sand is there. We're gonna be making sure we're gonna be having some stairs here, and also put the tiles as far as everything is in concern. And also the outside here first, we're gonna be starting with it to tile it, and also come to the pond here. After finishing the pond, we're gonna be getting to the upper section for the tiling area. So after tiling everywhere, now we're gonna be getting back to this kind of the ridges. Talk about some of this ballast that was placed here. Talk about some bit of the slabs that were placed here to make sure that we're gonna be tiled also, and everything gonna be occurring to be so meticulous to this kind of an area. So we are on it to make sure that everything is progressing and coming out so meticulous from this kind of the position here. So the tomatoes are growing. It's just some weeks ago I shown up, and tomatoes are now growing so meticulous to make sure that we're gonna be getting some reliable food. Not every time we have to buy some potatoes, we have some tomatoes, buy some whatever greens, we have to buy a bit crazy. We have to use our common sense. We have the land, we have everything. We have to make it coming out so meticulous. You can see now we are now sticking such kind of the sticks to balance them and make sure that things gonna be cooking out. These are the nursery beds. These are corianders. They're gonna be coming out, and also these ones here, they are night black shades, and they're gonna be planted where it's gonna be so meticulous at that kind of the moment coming outside here. So keep tuned. I'm gonna be giving you much of the bulky, how it's gonna be coming, and also balancing what is gonna be balanced, and everything gonna be so meticulous how it's gonna be coming out here crazy. So keep tuned. I'm gonna be making it happen at this kind of the time. Make it come out, and this is the way forward. Keep tuned. Back to you in a short while. Hello, beautiful internet, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's underscore Ginto back again to the audio of today. It's one-on-one live coverage. You're going to be starting this kind of the time, and the work continues, and everything is moving as usual. And as you can now see, we have a different change from this kind of the house here, and the plaster is ongoing still at this kind of the time. And simama tu hapa, angalia ile wall. Hiyo ni ya nani? Hiyo wall ya Victor. Wewe nani? John. Guys, we have to rectify where we see things will not be cooking here, and everything has to go straight. Simamia tu hapa, nipatie utaratibu wa ile wall. Ikoaje? Kuna shimo chini. Sasa iendelee ikiwa hivyo, amitolewa amiongezwe. Kwa maoni yako, ongeza tu ikate. Iongezwe afu ikate, si ndio?
Lakini itapigwa rough cast.
Nani amekwambia hivyo?
My idea. Hiki tu ni sema.
Hapana, si unakata maru, unaona kuna ngori. Si uko moyo ukuta. Kata na panga.
Sasa unajua ukuta ya miti ipo karibu.
Sawa, kama haiko sangejaza basi chini afu aache. Aendelee na sehemu nyingine, kukikuwa fiti arudie. Guys, we are rectifying some of the problems because it's a semi-permanent, and a bit we have to be so punctual whenever it comes to the leveling of the walls, to make sure that the walls are straight. And that's what I'm ever here to make sure that I'm gonna be handling today, because some of the walls gonna be zigzag, some of them gonna be this way, and I don't want to reach to that kind of the way, because I can only, we have a very big space which is still provided there, so it's not filled, and I have to make sure that I'm gonna be getting this kind of the gentleman. You can see this kind of the space. So even if I'm not a top mason here, I have to understand this kind of the space is still provided. It makes like this wall is not straight, and they have to do the necessary to make sure that everything goes very fantastic there. And that's how the work gonna be. So you have to see each and every kind of the work, because we don't want to mess in a day, because of some things that we have to understand and also come with them so immense, and you have to handle much of the matters that they always come. So this is the borehole here. It has to make sure that you're gonna be making it happen, and also has to pour some concrete and finish the plaster and talk about the full of we call the cement, Nero. It's Neroing, to make sure that you're gonna be so meticulous on top. So he has to make it happen today, because we have to come out from here after everything is so good here. So this is the ballast already. It's placed there to make sure that the work gonna be continuing from that kind of the space, very meticulous here. So this kind of the other wall here, you're gonna be having a little bit of some cornering. Umepaona?
Nishapaona
Na hapa. Na hapa. Utoe, si uongeze. Utoe. Yeah. Also we have the roofing stage here, and the roofing, the guy has already demobilized with the roofing stage, and already the iron sheet are so properly done here. So what is only remaining is just some of the doors only, to fix some doors, and already is making and also getting some doors there to make sure that everything gonna be so meticulous to that kind of the position. Also the curtain wall is gonna be reaching today. Utaimaliza leo, si ndio? Kila kitu inafika leo, then huko hivyo utajaza kokoto ama utajaza mchanga. Kokoto iko ni pana, sijui kama itaingia kidogo. Exactly. So that kind of the small space provided here, it's gonna be having the concrete to be placed here. What I'm pissed off by today is just one, whereby I don't know how it went until they never had one of the holes from this kind of the bathroom that we're gonna be getting inside the toilet. They talked about they're gonna be needing water to go outside from the bathroom, which was not my concern, and it was the concern of a person who is ever into this kind of the position. I never gave that kind of an order. It has to be rectified before things are gonna be cooking here. So some of the matters have to be solidized here, and it's gonna be raining, but you can see the condition, which is 15:50 at this kind of the time. So still the time is there until we're gonna be getting out from this kind of the position. So everything gonna be so meticulous. Ona maliza hiyo sehemu mpaka juu, na huyu kutoka huku mpaka huko,
huyo hapa mbele hivi.
Aha, mliagree hivyo, mliagree hivyo.
Tuko agree ni kazi.
Sasa nyinyi ndio mliagree, lakini yote itaisha nje.
Nadhani kama nikubaki labda ni cobra.
Ibaki. Inabaki ya nani? Yaani tukikuja hapa ku orient, kila mtu anashika room yake ndani.
Kamcha.
We.
Kureo. Muda ni wa.
It's a department of the Children's Service Mabera, best interest for the children. And we're going to be getting one of the officers here. And we're going to be, hey, we have this kind of the other lady here. Hi. How are you, Robi Chacha?
I'm fine.
You are even you here?
Yeah.
Things are cooking. We're going to be cooking for you here. Hi, madam.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. I'm fine.
It's been long.
I'm Karifra. Just
Welcome.
very nice. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And I'm here again. I hear you have beat the phone. You can just.
Don't mind about it.
Oh, don't mind about it. Exactly. So here it's the children office in Mabera, and you can just introduce yourself a bit here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning, viewers.
Yeah.
I'm the Sub-County Children's Officer, Mabera Sub-County, in charge of the area where Gintu comes from and where he works around child protection issues.
Yeah.
And today he has visited me, and so I would wish to hear, because there is a matter we are working with him around.
Exactly.
Very dire, very needy, and so we are trying to look at interventions that can be for the best interest of the child.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you know the situation that we're having, and you know those kind of the couples. We are talking about the Jiggers family that they were attacked with the Jiggers, and I think the first time before I could know them, I think you knew them before me. Because there's a time they were taken and evacuated with the police officers from Sirare, which is Isibania, and they were taken to the hospital, and you were engaged.
Yes.
And from there, they were again brought back to the same home.
Yes.
And that's why now I got the opportunity to meet with them, and that's why I took them to the hospital for a bit, staying there, and they stayed to the hospital around 1.5 months.
Yes.
And from there a bit, they were talk about a bit hungry, and also angry at the same time, and they became weird much, and they started now talk about breaking some of the windows there, and we were again evacuated from there. We are told we are giving you a bit of time, take them out from here. I went to the home that they are living. It's not their home, but there's a person who died, was a Mason, and was not having a wife. So after this man died, that's the home they went in, with no acknowledgement from anyone, and they took it like theirs, because no one could just go there because of the Jiggers. Everybody's fearing about it. So I went there, then I protected that area, I sprayed so much chemicals, and I plastered the house, and until the environment is very neat for them to stay.
Yes,
and I now brought them in. So the problem I'm having is one, there's a child who is a boy, is called, this is Ayubu. Ayubu, mambo? Uko poa? Ayub, uko na kama miaka ngapi? 6-7 years. This boy is around 5-6, if you have seen, 5-6 years, and he has not even gone to kindergarten, nothing, no education. And this kind of the time that we were speaking, the mother is a bit not well in terms of the mental state. Exactly. Karibu. Haya, shuka vizuri. Safi. And I don't see like this mother could take care of this kind of the boy to go to school and come back home. And I approached the father and the mother one day, and I asked them, can they give me that child? I take care of the boy and take him to school and much more. The father refused and said like they will take charge of the child because it's the child is theirs, and maybe we go to a certain school called Vesco, which is a primary school, and it's a day. He could just go home, but it's a short distance. And I was about, okay, I have already expressed myself, like if things want to be happening, they will know like Ginto has taken the child and get you to school. Again, they will come to my home to disturb me, maybe abusing me. They have that kind of the tendency because of the mentality.
Yes.
They cannot know like education is the key or whatever. They will come and again start this and that. Again, maybe I could talk about, okay, I was supporting, but this way it has reached, let it go this way. So that's why I have approached to this kind of the children office. We tally and analyze. How do you think about it could be very proper?
Yes, I remember this is our second time this matter is coming here. first time we resorted into the health part of the parents, taking care of the jiggers, containing the situation. And now me, through the Sibania police officer, we had agreed that we are supposed to come back at a follow-up level to now look at interventions in terms of ensuring that the kids are retained in school. But unfortunately, we as government officers, we don't have proper structures in terms of placement of these children, where we place these children, especially the vulnerable and orphans. As we talk, remember the Kenyan government is not for children homes. We are moving into alternative family care. So right now, placement of the child in a children's home is not part of what we do as the best interest of the child. And so looking at it, the best way we can approach this matter is taking this child into a boarding school, and then when they close school, we can look for where they can stay temporarily because of the environment where this child is. This environment is toxic and not very friendly to this child because the parents are not in a proper state of mind. So,
Mr. Magabo, how are you? How is everything, bro?
Yeah, it is okay.
Everything is okay. So I see you have children here and still they are tied. Kwa nini Ayubu hataki mchezo? She has to remove this kind of the strings from the legs and from the neck. You understand it's going to be coming from here, and we find the young lady is kaboom netted here, and we still talk about, oh, we're going to be now singing or we have to cry. Who are we going to be crying to? A bit of problem here, and she has to untie them.
Placing this child in the same environment may not be very helpful. As much as we are saying the child needs to go to school, they cannot operate from that same environment, going to school and coming back to that similar environment, because one, there is no proper monitoring of how this learner is going to school and who is to take care. Remember, we are talking about going to school, coming back for lunch at their home. Who is going to cook for them? Who is going to ensure that their clothes are washed? So that is why we are resorting into a boarding school where they have matrons and caretakers who can take care of the child. So unfortunately, we as government don't have proper structures. Just like you asked me, we don't have proper structures for ensuring that we support these children in school. We depend on well-wishers, good Samaritans, and people of goodwill who can support such children. The only thing that we can do from my level as a sub-county children's officer is to give you authority to take care of the child as a good Samaritan or as a good well-wisher who can support the child. So what is there right now is to look for a way that we can have funds raised for this child to go into a boarding school. The reason being, this child cannot operate from that environment. It is volatile. It is volatile, and there is no caregiver per se. Because the parents are not in a proper state of mind. So there is nobody to take care of the child. And so we have to look for placement in a boarding school. And then when they close, because the period they stay home is short, that one, even the children's office can now cater for that short period during holidays. But as the child goes to school, we will need to place the child in a boarding school where they're able to be taken good care of.